wildtalkradio.com.
Theme song!
This is the Firefly Funhouse, and I want to introduce you to some very special friends that I met along the way.
Hey, this is Adam Copeland, a.k.a. the Rated R Superstar.
Hey guys, this is Renee Paquette.
This is Kane from WWE.
This is WWE Superstar Drew McIntyre.
Hello, this is WWE Hall of Famer, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
Hi, this is Bree, and this is Nikki, and we're the Battle Twins.
This is Christopher Daniels, and what I like to do on my off days is listen to The Rack, and now you are too.
And it is awesome.
Satisfaction is guaranteed.
It's time to experience the award-winning The Rack.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire!
I love kickball.
I'm back, taking souls and digging holes.
I'm gonna break you, bitch, you hear me?
You can look, but you can't touch.
Ruthless aggression.
With your host,
they've been lying to you. Heroes don't exist. Y'all become addicted to the illusion of what a hero does for you. Have I mentioned that I was once addicted to eating sponges?
Lindsey Ward.
Look at me, woman.
And you can just call me Taker.
Oh my God, it's Taker, 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 Taker. Does Taker hate me? Oh my God, it's Taker.
And she was a wicked, wicked child who spat and swore and chewed tobacco.
I like puppets.
Stickers!
And her producer, Sir Rockin.
My little creatures of the night will now experience the magical art of puppetry.
If you smell what the game is playing.
Live on the Wild Talk Radio Network.
We're here. Yowie wowie!
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to The Rack right here on wildtalkradio.com, brought to you by our friends over at MBG Films. Check them out, youtube.com/MBG1211. And if you're listening to us over on rackradioshow.com, wildtalkradio.com, or directly on Twitch, thank you so much for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it. If you're on Twitch and you happen to have a Prime Gaming sub available, you can use it here for free for 30 days. All you have to do is hit the little purple button down at the bottom of the screen, and you can subscribe for free. It is that simple. You can also subscribe the regular way, follow the channel, hang out and chat, or listen to the archive. We are happy to have you any way we can get you. I am your host, Lindsey Ward. Joining me, as always, is the ever-faithful producer / co-host / handyman, Sir Rockin.
We're here. We're live. Will Ospreay is still your international champion. Daniel Garcia still can't win the big one. And MJF is upset. That's your Dynamite recap. Oh, and dicks to the face and fireballs. Also, DMD is back.
Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Happy 4th of July. Tweet us at Wild Talk Radio, at Rack Radio Show, at Lindsey Ward, on the wildtalkradio.com, rackradioshow.com, or twitch.tv/W2Live to interact with us tonight on our special Wednesday night edition of The Rack. A pre-4th of July. It's Money in the Rack. All the things.
We have an Go ahead, sorry.
Just all the things.
All the things. We have an exciting show. We're going to be talking Money in the Bank. We have news. We have notes. We have all the things. And yes, it's Wednesday because tomorrow is a holiday here in the U.S. And you might be able to hear fireworks going off all around both Rock and I. Maybe not. I don't know. But you will hear booms. And there will be more booms tomorrow, starting at sunset. It will just be constant for like 6 hours. What kind of booms they are, it depends on where you live. They might be fireworks, they might be other things. But
check
the important thing is...
Check your local listings for time and availability and the type of boom you get in your neck of the woods.
See, I'm in the South. I know what mine are. I've grown up with mine, so they're not always all fireworks. But anyway, so yeah, let's get right into the news. Brought to our friends over at MBG Films, youtube.com/MBG1211. And before we do that, happy birthday to my dad. Tomorrow is his birthday.
Happy birthday.
I won't say how old he is.
Happy birthday to Lindsay's dad. Happy birthday to Tim's dad, because we never did it on Sunday when we were supposed to, and we were yelled at to do it before the show, but we never did. So happy birthday, Tim's dad.
Yes, happy birthday, Tim's dad. We're belated. We're sorry, but happy birthday. So let's get into the news. Angelo Dawkins of the Street Profits got married in a very low-key ceremony presided over by his tag team partner, Montez Ford. Dawkins married his longtime girlfriend, Grace Russo. So congratulations to them.
Congratulations to them. And Daniel Garcia, after putting a dick in someone's face, got kicked in the balls. So, by MJF. So, hey,
Happy birthday, America.
Happy birthday, America. But no, congrats to Angelo and his wife, Grace, on getting married. So, congrats to all of them.
Many congratulations. I hope they have a bunch of happy years together. And they were so cute. Like, they had pictures of them getting married, and it was so absolutely adorable. And I know Montez was thrilled to do it. So good for them. Tag team champions Brutus and Julius Creed of the Creed Brothers have announced that they are participating in the upcoming Josh Barnett Bloodsport event. So they're going over to Bloodsport. They're joining Shayna.
That should be interesting for them. They with their amateur background should make for a fun time at Bloodsport. Yeah.
So you guys can check that out when that's available.
That's in a couple end of the month, I think.
Is it in the month? Because there's no date, so it's like, when is it?
I forget when it was. I think it's the end of July.
Okay. So go check it out.
I think July 27th. I could be wrong, but we'll see.
We will see.
July 28th. I was off by a day. Not bad.
Yeah, pretty good. WWE and Bojangles have partnered up for a new limited time promotion featuring 4 legendary tag team collectible cups. You can get cups featuring the Outsiders, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, the Dudleys, Undertaker and Kane, and the Hart Foundation.
Weird little
don't tell
promotion
the
there. Don't tell the Canadians. But yeah. So I guess it's been a while since I've seen any company do like collectible cups, so them doing it for WWE people, that's cool. I've never had Bojangles, so I can't comment. But if you're a Bojangles fan, go out and get your limited time edition tag team collector's cups.
Ding! New Japan Pro Wrestling has announced its own version of Forbidden Door with Wrestle Dynasty, which will take place on January 5th, 2025, the night after Wrestle Kingdom. The show will be held at the Tokyo Dome and will feature New Japan, AEW, ROH, Stardom, and CMLL.
That's interesting. So it'll be the day after
crossover.
So as you mentioned, it'll be the day after Wrestle Kingdom, and Tony's always said that they were not going to do Forbidden Door over there because that's like a U.S. thing, so they're going to keep Forbidden Door here. But with them deciding, hey, we're already working with them, because ROH, AEW, that's one. Stardom and New Japan, the relationship is a lot stronger and basically one at this point. And then CMLL has a relationship with both sides, so it's like, hey, let's just bring everyone together. This will allow AEW talent to appear probably on Wrestle Kingdom the night before. Probably Moxley and others who've been working regular for New Japan will get to wrestle at the Tokyo Dome for Wrestle Kingdom, and then they'll all come together and put together a show of their own, I guess, and then sort of bunch of cross-promotional matches and stuff. And it should be a fun time if you're into that. That's the best way to put it. If that's the style matches you want to see, then cool. What that means for their television that week, that will be interesting to see what they do. It's also interesting the time and the date for it. It's January 5th, which is where we go to the calendar. Yes, that'll be the night before, the day before here in the States, where all debuts on Netflix. So that should be a very, very interesting weekend, to say the least.
We'll see if they do any big surprises. It may not necessarily impact their TV because Wednesday is the 1st, and then you have Friday and Saturday, so they may just not just throw something together.
I would say coming back. It's more the coming back taping because this is on a Sunday and then Sunday, Monday there because that would be it would be.
It'll suck.
It'll suck. That's more what the thing is. It would suck.
But it could be that the people that go over, maybe they get that week off and get to come back the following week.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Also, just for a Dynamite update, they're stretching off Daniel Garcia after the beatdown from MJF, who has gone full-blown MJF heel. Shocking.
It's still on?
Yeah, they get an overrun. Shocking, I know, that MJF is a heel again. Shocking. The world is very shocked.
I mean, wait, hold on. Let me get my shock face.
Find your shock face. Yeah. Go find it. Just take it out. And be shocked that MJF is a heel, even though he'll probably be cheered at some point. And conveniently, he's going to kick off Collision on Saturday. Just so happens after he does the beatdown, he's going to come out and do a promo on Saturday. Conveniently, just they have it set and promote it right as the show ends. He's going to kick off Collision. Shocking.
Andy, my God, it's like they planned it.
It's like it's scripted television. Oh my goodness.
No, it's all real, Rock.
It's still real to me. Damn it. Anyway, I say we take a break and come back and talk Money in the Bank.
Sounds good to me. So you're listening to The Rack right here on wildtalkradio.com, and we will be right back.
Then everybody be served like California. You see them wearing their baggies, Warachi sandals too, a bushy blonde hairdo, serving USA.
Are you following us on twitch.tv/WTR live? Do you have Amazon Prime? If so, you can link it to your Twitch account and subscribe to our Twitch channel for free with Twitch Prime. It's the easiest way to help support us for free.
This just into the CB Radio News Desk. Sources have confirmed that CB Radio will be live Saturday nights at 11:30 p.m. Eastern.
Wasn't this confirmed last year?
Yes.
Then how is this breaking news?
No one said it was breaking news. We here at the CB Radio News Desk are just confirming what has already been confirmed.
To confirm, you are just confirming that CB Radio is live Saturday nights at 11:30 p.m. Eastern.
Confirmed. We would like to remind you. Always trust the source that confirms that CB Radio is live Saturday nights at 11:30 p.m. Eastern.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Every Monday night, once Monday Night Raw ends, the Raw Post Show goes live.
You want to hear a story? Give me a hell yeah!
Join Lindsey and Sir Rockin as they give their opinions on what they liked, what they didn't like, and what left them completely confused. It's the Raw Post Show. Monday nights. 11 p.m. Eastern. Live on the Wild Talk Radio Network.
And that's the bottom line. Go Stone Cold Simpson.
Every Sunday night, the evolution continues with Wrestle Talk Radio, giving you all the latest happenings in sports entertainment. With the intern, the producer, the original Tim Stein, and sometimes, a K-Sheep. It's WTR Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Mountain, only on the Wild Talk Radio Network.
Like what you hear? Subscribe to The Rack on Apple Podcasts. Just search for The Rack Radio Show. And while you're there, leave us a review and tell us your thoughts on your favorite show on a Thursday night.
Did you know that you can use support a creator code ROCKSOCK in the Fortnite item shop? That's our OCKNSOCK in the Fortnite item shop. Hashtag ad because we are a hashtag epic partner.
This is WWE superstar Drew McIntyre, and you are listening to the Rack Radio Show on Wild Talk Radio.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling, cut the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter. Ching, ching, bling, bling, patent pockets. We take the dollar, dollar, can a damn soul stop it. Here comes the new kid on the block. Hold on, your bets. Here's where the buck stops. See, first of all, I'm stepping.
And welcome back to The Rack right here on wildtalkradio.com, brought to you by our friends over at MBG Films. Check them out at youtube.com/MBG1211. And if you're listening to us over on rackradioshow.com, wildtalkradio.com, or directly on Twitch, thank you so much for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it. If you're on Twitch and you happen to have a Prime Gaming sub available, but you can use it here for free for 30 days. All you have to do is hit the little purple button down at the bottom of the screen, and you can subscribe for free. It is that simple. You can also subscribe the regular way, follow the channel, hang out and chat, or listen to the archive. We are happy to have you any way we can get you in. Well, could that theme be becoming all elite?
Oh my god, did you hear that Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, and Shane McMahon met up at a bagel shop in an airport?
In LaGuardia Rock?
Wow.
It was LaGuardia. It was New York.
Oh my goodness. They didn't know that they were going to be there, and they just sort of passed each other by and said hello, and Shane gave her his phone number, and now they're going to talk, and oh my god, he's going to be all elite now. Oh my goodness. Can we stop talking about this story for 3 weeks? It has been dragging on as the most pointless news story in the history of news stories, but guess what? Every single day, another layer to the pointless story continues to happen where, oh my god, they met at an airport. Oh my god, it was Mercedes that he ran into. Oh my god, Shane McMahon talked to one of the former WWE superstars before. Then, oh my god, maybe he could, hey, you want to come work for us? I wonder if it was Chris Jericho. Hey, guess what? Shane McMahon is talking. Oh, but no, Shane McMahon's not going to AEW. If he does, that's great for him. But guess what? It's the biggest non-news story in the history of news stories. But guess what? It's been dragging on for 2.5 weeks, and it's so pointless. But everyone gets their clicks because people continue to drag out this most pointless story.
You feel better?
Yes. But it is such a pointless story. Such a pointless story that just keeps getting put flame after flame that just keeps going. People keep lighting the fire, stoking it. Just like, hey, here's this added detail of their encounter. Hey, who cares? And then she put out the story because she needs people to subscribe to her newsletter.
Of course. That's how this works.
Sure.
We'll go with that.
We'll go with whatever that is. Yes. Anyway.
So, all right. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Money in the Bank, which will be Saturday on the Peacocks and on the WWE networks and everywhere else you get your stuff. But yeah, this is a show.
7 p.m. Eastern start time.
Early.
5 p.m. for the kickoff.
We thank them for that.
Yes. It should be a fun show.
This is for a small card. This is a fairly stacked card.
I mean, and all the cards are usually like this. And it was a couple weeks ago. I don't know what show we were on, but we were talking about how the cards should line up. It's like, yeah, you don't need Cody defending the title in this show.
No.
With Damian defending his and the two Money in the Bank matches, I think you're pretty good. You're not going to get a women's title match because you had the women's title match on Raw with Zelina and Liv, and they're setting up Bayley and Nia for SummerSlam. So this is like, it's Money in the Bank. That's what the main focus is. You got one world title match, and you have a lot of, surrounding that with what Drew McIntyre had to say on Monday night, where he's going to walk out the World Heavyweight Champion because he believes he's winning Money in the Bank. So,
we believe in you, Drew.
Maybe. We'll see. Where do you want to start on this show?
All right, let's hold the Money in the Bank matches for the end. Since you brought him up, let's talk about Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens are facing off against the Bloodline, and it's any three of Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, or Jacob Fatu in a regular old six-man tag team match, I should say.
Yeah, I assume it's not going to be Jacob Fatu. I think you hold off on his debut, especially maybe if he can or maybe not get into that country. So we'll see Friday if he's there on SmackDown or not. we'll have to wait and see on that one. So this all started back at Clash of Castle when the Bloodline jumped Cody, and then they've been feuding with Randy and Kevin. Now they're all coming together. This is a typical 6-man tag. Should be hard hitting. They brawled on SmackDown. I would expect a wild brawl in this one. I would expect shenanigans after what happened with Paul Heyman being ejected from the Bloodline because he did not acknowledge Solo Sikoa as the tribal chief, which means, sooner or later the real tribal chief will show back up on Friday Night SmackDown and kind of assert his selection of Bloodline or not Bloodline, which I think he shows back up at SummerSlam, because if you go by traditional WWE and wrestling booking, what this 6-man tag should lead to is the Bloodline winning, leading to Solo versus Cody at SummerSlam. That should be how this booking goes. Sometimes you would have Solo, it was old school booking, you have Solo pin Cody Rhodes, sending the statement of he is the tribal chief, he is the head of the table now, and he is the number one contender, because you need a match for Cody at SummerSlam, and Solo and Cody at SummerSlam would be the right move. They teased it a couple weeks ago and didn't have a clean finish. They didn't get much started, but you can have Solo pin Cody in this match, kind of, show there's weakness in the armor. And yeah, I think it should be a hell of an encounter besides that point. But I think storyline-wise, Solo should pin Cody. I'm not 100% sure he does. They may protect him and have Kevin take the loss. But I think to send a statement, show weakness in your your WWE champion, you have him take the loss here, because you're trying to establish the Bloodline as a real threat, and they've been doing a great job of it. But I think Solo getting a big win on a big show would set the table for SummerSlam. The man brings up, I think Jimmy returns possibly after the match if they continue to beat down after the win. If he's healthy, I could see him coming back. Maybe. I think you bring Jimmy back with Roman. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure how you bring back Jimmy just yet. You may. Yeah, he had to take time off for injury. I don't know how serious it was, but I know he had to be off.
Yeah, I think you could hold Jimmy, for right now, in terms of the Bloodline and what you're trying to establish with them. You need to have them be vicious. You need to have them, as Rock mentioned, assert dominance. And I think this is a really good way to do that. Because all 4 of them are not involved in it doesn't mean that they won't be. Yeah. So you can have, Jacob Fatu on the outside, or have him get involved and kind of help the Bloodline go for the win, and then you really have them pick the bones afterwards, because Cody can take the loss. If Cody takes the pin, that's fine. He can eat the loss. He'll recover. It won't do much for him, but especially in the sense that you're building to something larger for him at SummerSlam. It's you need to give him a reason to fight. Not that he doesn't have one already, not that he isn't already motivated, but just add more fuel to that fire to help bring the feud to a nice sort of boil, to lead you into SummerSlam. And also he's not defending the title, so it doesn't hurt him to lose.
No, and it's traditional booking you kind of have in this situation.
So, and there is also the factor of Randy Orton. Randy Orton's got his eye on that title. He's kind of looking over Cody's shoulder, and he's like, huh, that's right there, isn't it? I could take that if I really wanted to. And you got a lot of history between Randy and Cody. Yeah, that goes all the way back.
I think with the direction they're going, it's too early for Randy.
But you could start that.
You could.
You could start dropping hints towards it, because we know how Hunter loves his long-term bookings. So you could start sort of prepping that now. Especially if you're going to go for it, say at Rumble or even Mania, you can start leaving those breadcrumbs. I'm not saying Randy's going to do a full-on turn, but maybe Randy's just looking at Cody I could take that if I really wanted to. I could fight you for that. That's if he doesn't lose it.
Yeah, LeMans, I think it could be a Rumble match. Maybe Survivors. Could be Survivor Series too.
Yeah, easily. It's something you could build towards, and it would be a good match. It would be an excellent match between the two.
Yeah, and that one needs breathing room to tell the story, because you can't rush that one in 3 weeks. There's a lot of history there that you can dive into between them.
Which means it would be good and juicy and awesome. But yeah. So I'm in terms of Bloodline versus these three, I'm going to say Bloodline picks up the win because I feel like they need it more, especially with them establishing Solo as the leader and them taking out Paul Heyman and everything. You just need to continue getting them on a roll and building them up.
Yeah, you're building them up for a defeat. So they need to continue to rise. I'm going Bloodline as well. 8-Ball Bloodline? Most likely.
Okay.
Wrestler 2.
Bloodline.
Okay. All right. We're doomed. Up next, we have Sami Zayn taking on Braun Breaker for the IC title.
They told the story on Monday, how everyone knows that what's going to happen. Sami knows what's supposed to happen. Braun Breaker is supposed to beat Sami Zayn. Like, that's the story. Like, everyone knows it's supposed to happen.
Except Sami's the ultimate underdog.
He is. But, man, Sami's right. Braun Breaker has to beat him. That's what has to be told in this one. Like, they're making Braun Breaker on this run. Like, he's come in. They held him out of the King of the Ring. He was angry. Then he just started destroying people. And now he's had good matches every week on Raw. He's kind of coming into his own. They're highlighting his moveset in a variety of different ways, from the outside spear, the running the ropes really fast. They're highlighting him to be a major attraction and giving him the Intercontinental Championship and putting him on a little bit of a run, just dominating people for a while. I think that's a pretty good idea because he's not ready. I think he could be the guy that goes for the world title at WrestleMania, but you gotta give him something to do for now. Him having a run with the Intercontinental title till Survivor Series. Nah, man. You can't run it back. Give him. I don't know if you do that. I think you gotta keep the momentum going with Braun. You gotta have him keep winning. Dominant, like, give him a big win, big singles win, Money in the Bank in Canada. Come off as a big heel like that. There's a lot to do there with it.
The difficulty with Braun is he's kind of on a trajectory where it's a one and done. You really have to make him right out of the gate, or you're going to have a difficult time making him later. Just because of how they present the character and how they're doing the character. And we can see that based on his NXT run, where they made him really, really early. They put him at the top of the brand, and then he kind of faltered and he kind of floundered because he lost his momentum. You really have to keep him going and keep him moving, or else it's just not going to work.
The crowd started to reject him in NXT, which was part of the problem.
Yeah. So you got to get him going. You got to get him in a place where you're essentially going to move him up. And the IC title is the perfect title for that. You've had Sami hold it. He's done a great job. I think you could have Braun pick up the win here and it would be fine. And you move Sami on to his next opponent, or you have him face off against Braun, however you feel about it. But if the thing is if Braun loses to Sami, it's going to torpedo him. It's going to kill every single ounce of momentum he has, and that's not what they want to do. That's not what they need to do. If they're looking to make him, like if they're really seriously looking to make him, then they need to give him the win here. And I hate to say that because I love Sami. I love Sami as a champion, but I feel like maybe Sami has run his course as IC champion and you move him on to someone else.
And again,
or something else.
Again, the Intercontinental title was 666 days. Quicker title reigns are bound to happen. And Sami can get this belt back at some point. But Sami doesn't also need a belt. He's better at chasing a championship, as we've all learned. But Braun needs it. He's been having stellar matches, and you can make him the workhorse for a while on television because you can clearly see they have a direction for him. He's being positioned that way as a top guy for what's to come on Monday Night Raw. And, I don't know, him as the Intercontinental Champion, I think, works because that gives him a purpose and a reason to be on PLEs now, to be in big main event matches on Monday Night Raw. You got to take a chance, and if you're gonna look at your development system, and go, hey, what are we turning out right now? Braun Breaker's the guy. Let's give him a run. So I'm going Braun Breaker as your new Intercontinental Champion.
Samesies.
Magic 8-Ball, is Braun Breaker your new Intercontinental Champion? Concentrate and ask again. Blast the wheel.
Wrestler 2.
That would be Braun Breaker. Sami Zayn 8-Ball? Don't count on it. Okay?
Oh, God. Another one. We're doomed.
We are doomed so far.
We're seriously doomed. Okay, let's talk about this. Damian Priest taking on Seth freaking Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. This is a last chance match. If Priest wins, Rollins will never challenge for the title as long as Priest is champion. If Rollins wins, Priest must leave the Judgment Day. Now, here's the kicker. The title doesn't necessarily have to change hands. It's just whoever wins, the stip kicks. Which means shenanigans.
I guess. I still think it means if Rollins wins the title, then Damian has to leave. I don't think it is as literal as you think. Also, it's a gentleman's agreement, so...
It's a gentleman's agreement, but considering the fact that Damian is on his path of honor, where he doesn't want to cheat, he doesn't want to do anything else, if he doesn't honor the gentleman's agreement and he welches on the bet, then he looks like a dumbass, which is not how you want to look as champion.
Yeah.
And we've been seeing them building the tension in the Judgment Day, where Damian's like, I'm too good for you guys. You need me more than I need you. There's been tension building with Damian in the group in terms of him trying to basically be the dad of the group. And, you know, he's trying to look after Dom. He's trying to look after Finn and JD. And then, you know, there's Rhea, who is lingering out there somewhere. And I don't think she's going to come back this show, but she could.
No, I think she's coming back soon. SummerSlam sounds like a good spot. Right before SummerSlam sounds like a good spot.
It depends on if they want her to just have an on-TV role or if they want to have her actually working and wrestling, because I imagine they are eager to get her back. The other wild card in this is one Liv Morgan.
Possibly.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think she gets involved here. I don't think Liv needs to play a role in this. I think Damian and Seth, I think if anyone gets involved, it's going to be Finn, based on what's been happening in the conversation they had on Monday.
That's fair.
I think Judgment Day will try, for the most part, stay out of it. I could see a little bit of interference, but it's tricky. Like, this whole thing is tricky because you look at the future, and Damian Priest and Gunther, hell of a match for the world title.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It should be a hell of a match at SummerSlam. But Rollins and Gunther would be a hell of a match at SummerSlam, too. Damian beating Seth clean, just also he beat Drew with somewhat interference, but he also beat Drew. He's beaten Jey Uso. Beating Seth Rollins is another feather in the cap for the title run, which will ultimately end probably at SummerSlam. It's tricky because on one hand, Seth, it makes a hell of a world champion, and you brought him back for a reason. Because I don't know where he goes if he loses this match. I don't know what his future could hold. But again, we didn't expect him to be back this soon. We thought he was going to be out a couple more months. As far as Damian goes, it's like, okay, if he wins, Rollins can't get another title shot. That's easy booking. Gunther wins the title, and then Seth and Gunther is your program afterwards. And Seth can earn his way back into the title picture. Damian... If they want to put the belt on Seth, Damian's next feud would then be Finn. One would assume. Because I would figure Finn would cost him the spot and cost him the title, costing him to leave Judgment Day. And that would be your SummerSlam match, Damian and Finn, if you're doing Rollins and Gunther. Because I think long-term, Damian Finn is a goal.
Yeah,
as a match. Where Damian gets ousted from the Judgment Day, Rhea's gone from the Judgment Day, so it's Finn, JD, Dom, Liv. I think that whole thing comes together where Liv joins Judgment Day with them. Whether Carlito's involved or not, I don't know. But I think Finn becomes the true leader, kicking Damian out, and Rhea just leaves because, well, she gets rejected. Dom chooses Liv over Rhea or whatever. But that's months of storytelling that will take place for that. I don't know on this one. I think Damian retains. But of all the matches on this show, I'm the least sure about that. But I'm going Damian retains.
I say Damian retains because there's no reason to move the title, especially with Money in the Bank out there, depending on who wins Money in the Bank. But I don't see Damian winning clean. I do see Finn getting involved. I do see Finn potentially costing Seth the match accidentally. or the Judgment Day screws up and they're trying to help Damian and they end up costing him the match. Okay. And that's where he retains the title because that's how you can do it. And then Damian's like, well, I didn't technically lose. Like, you didn't technically pin me. And this is where you can get into the semantics of the agreement, which is, well, you didn't pin me. You didn't really beat me. You know, it's their fault. And this is where you can continue to build the issues in the Judgment Day of it's their fault.
Okay.
Not mine. It's their fault that this happened. So therefore, I don't have to honor this because it's their fault.
Let's throw a wrinkle in there.
Okay.
To play on your theory of the semantics of the wording, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Rollins wins, Damian must leave the Judgment Day. If Damian wins, Rollins will never be the champion. What if neither man wins? And then Drew McIntyre wins Money in the Bank and comes in and cashes in and actually wins the title.
Well then, Seth is in the clear either way because, he doesn't have to honor it and Drew's the champion. And then you can do whatever you want to do with Judgment Day.
Yeah, so that would be your wrinkle. I don't expect that to happen. I'm not going to predict that. I'm just throwing that out there as a hi, that's a scenario that could happen. With scenario on top of that, he cashes in and CM Punk returns as he's cashing in and costs him the World Heavyweight title again.
Oh God, the internet would melt down.
And who knows who wins that way? And it's Rollins pins Drew at that point. I don't know. There's options. But I think if you leave it to Damian and Seth 1-on-1 straight up match, Damian Priest is keeping the title.
Yeah, I say Damian retains for sure. How he retains, that's the question.
I haven't beaten him. 8-ball. Does Seth Rollins win? All signs point to yes. Wheel.
Wrestler 1.
By the way, Brent is going to listen to this and he's going to yell at us.
Yeah. Wrestler 1, so that's Damian Priest. So we'll see. All right, we got Money in the Banks to talk about. By the way, Chad, if you remember, you use creator code ROCKSOCK or Lindsey Ward the Fortnite item shop with hashtag Epic Partner.
Well, you brought it up, so let's talk about it. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match features Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Chad Gable, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre. They are all vying for the men's championship match contract, which will carry through to 2025, which they can cash in at any time on any title they wish. Or is it just World now?
Who knows at this stage? Who knows? But you would assume with any one of these people, they would go after the World Heavyweight title because everyone on this match wants the World Heavyweight title. Andrade is the most interesting choice out of these people to be in this match. He's kind of been floating around, not really having much of direction since he's returned in January. They gave him the Speed title, but that really no one cares. But he debuted on Raw and got moved to SmackDown in the draft. It's kind of sort of been floating around. He had a little stuff at something at WrestleMania, but hasn't really had a really Andrade moment yet. So him being in this match is interesting. There's been a lot more video packages for him than anything else than I've seen him in the ring. The way they've been booking Carmelo has been interesting. He's still a cocky heel, but he's not winning as much as you'd think he would. But that's fine. Drew's too obvious of a pick because I don't think Drew doesn't need it. Yes, I know he made the promise he's going to win the World Heavyweight title, but Drew coming up short in this one is fine. But I'm trying to look at these people and go, who do I see winning the WWE title or winning the World Heavyweight title? I don't see Chad as much as Chad's been being pushed.
I see Chad getting taken out, by the way, at 6.
Yeah, I think that's his direction now. His direction is being whatever the Wyatt 6 are going to do to him. Chad's in a good spot, but I also wouldn't see him winning the world title. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't see them doing that. I love Chad Gable, but I don't see them doing that.
Like, he's doing the best work of his career, but it's like, I look at the title picture, and I go 3, 4, 5 months down the line and go, Gunther Gable again? Good match, but Gable's not going to win because he's not the babyface anymore. He's the heel. So I don't see him winning the title. LA Knight getting the briefcase. I mean, that would be something, but he's destined for the U.S. title. Him and Logan Paul are destined to meet at SummerSlam for the U.S. title, so I think LA Knight's your next U.S. champion, because especially what happened on SmackDown, which was a hell of an angle, getting the basketball players involved and everything on Raw at SmackDown and Madison Square Garden was fantastic. That was Sports Center moment. You had history from the playoffs. That was a great moment they put together. But LA Knight's destined for the U.S. title. I mean, I would love if Drew were to win and try to cash in, but Puck screws him to further set up their feud. But it kind of feels like it would waste the money in the bank to create a surprise moment. Yeah, it would. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think Punk costing him in this match, that's more of a possibility than anything else. I look at Jay and I go, Jay could be a world champion. He could beat Gunther at some point for the title. I could see them doing that. And I don't see Carmelo winning the WWE title. I don't see Andrade winning the WWE title. It's because because of where the title's going with Cody and Solo and the Bloodline and Roman. I don't think Carmelo or Andrade are on that level. The LA Knight moment again is the U.S. title. I don't want it to be Jay. I don't think Jay needs Money in the Bank. But with the reactions he's getting, you can have him call his shot at some point and cash in on a Raw or a PLE and go, hey, I want my title shot here, then, now, forever, whatever, and have a hell of a match whether he wins or not. You can create the moment and create the atmosphere for it because I think it's Jay. Because I just don't have a good feeling about anyone else in this matchup. I like that it's different. I like that it's a wide variety of new people in this match, underdogs in this match. I like the formation of it. The current champions or future champions are just really strong candidates right in the next 6 months. So you could hold it next year. But again, I don't see besides Drew and possibly Jay, I don't see guys who are going to be in your WrestleMania main event next year. When I look for Money in the Bank, I don't see it out of the men right now.
Well, but to be fair, when they put it on Damian Priest, you would have said the same thing.
But he wasn't a Mania main event either. And I still don't think Damian would be, when you go to it, Damian's not a WrestleMania main eventer.
No, not right now.
Right now. Even with this run, I don't think he would be a WrestleMania main eventer. But I'm looking ahead.
But
and I just don't see it with this group of people.
The only one, there are a couple I can see it with. I can see it with Jay, and I can see it with LA Knight, and even Carmelo. Drew's already there, so I'm excluding him. But out of those three, they need to be built, and they need work. I agree with you on Gable that he's not a contender because Wyatt's 6. Andrade would be a long shot, and it would be interesting if they put it on him to see if they could build him into something. More than what they already have, because he got fired or he left and then he went to AEW and then that was a big lump of nothing and then he came back and so far it hasn't been exactly overwhelming. It's kind of been underwhelming in terms of the return, but I think they're also holding him for when Charlotte comes back because I believe they're going to work together. Maybe. I feel like, especially with how they booked it last year with Damian and the fact that the Money in the Bank is kind of sort of that placeholder for the person that they're going to move up into that main event, right? That they're going to put in that spot and say, yes, okay, you're our next guy. We're going to bring you up in here. I can see them putting it on LA Knight and I can see them putting it on Jey Uso. Just because it's out of this entire group, they would literally be the most obnoxious with it. And they could probably do the most with it, especially LA Knight and Jey Uso. Drew doesn't need it. Drew can call his shot whenever he wants, and he can get a shot whenever he wants. And I love Drew McIntyre, and I want him to win all the things, but I don't feel like he's going to win Money in the Bank here because he's getting punked. So I feel like you could do it with Jay, and I feel like you could do it with LA Knight, because then it's like you said, either one of them could really call their shot at any time. And you could have LA Knight tease Logan Paul with the briefcase if it's any title and be like, hey, I got this. I can take your title whenever I want. He can also walk up to Cody and do it too.
Yeah. I don't like I don't like them going with the belt on another title. I didn't like that. I think it was different. It was different, but I don't like them using it as because anyone could get a U.S. title that match at this stage. That's kind of like it's yeah. It's kind of a waste because everyone can get a title shot. That's kind of the deal with it. I don't know who you got.
I'm taking Jey Uso for fantasy points because I have Jey Uso on my team. So we are going with the fantasy point pick.
I'll stick with it. I'll go Jey Uso. Not the biggest one who wants him to win it, but we'll go with it. 8 Ball, Carmelo Hayes wins Money in the Bank. Better not tell me. So that doesn't help me. Wheel.
1.
Number 1, that's listed on Wikipedia, is Jey Uso.
Oh, God.
8 Ball, Jey Uso.
Has this ever happened?
All signs point to yes.
It's agreed with us on every match, hasn't it? Like both inanimate objects?
Yes.
Oh, God.
This could be really good or really bad for this next
This
match.
is going to be disastrous. Okay. All right. Io Sky, Chelsea Green.
Hold on. It has happened many times, but not all the matches like this.
Yeah, not all the matches. This is like the first one, one of the first times this has happened. Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Lyra Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Zoe Stark all vie for the women's Money in the Bank for the women's championship. And I will just say this right off the bat. She's not going to win. She's so not going to win. But Chelsea Green would be so fucking fantastic with Money in the Bank. Oh my God. She would own the shit out of that.
She would. She 100% would. Props to them for putting Jade and Bianca in these matches and not having them be the predictable winners.
Yeah. Well done.
Well done. Having Tiffany win, having Chelsea win in the match with Bianca made them feel really upset matches and like, hey, anything could happen because you put Bianca in a match like she's gonna win. She didn't win. You thought they put Jade in there. You thought Jade was gonna win. Jade did not win, and then Jade made sure Indy did not win. So that was a nice revenge there.
Which Indy took great offense to.
She did. I thought that was really smart. Like, hey, we're gonna put them in there. We're not going to have them win, even though you think they're going to win. And like when Chelsea won that match, I was like, okay, I like this booking. Same when Andrade won his match. He was in it with top guys, and he came out with it. And Carmelo was in it with top guys. I think Carmelo was in it with Randy. I was like, oh, Randy's going to win this. But Randy didn't. And Kevin was in the other one. Andrade won it. I was like, okay, I see you're using your main event players, and yeah, it works. Io just won it last year. I don't think she's going to repeat. You said Chelsea. Chelsea as the obnoxious Money in the Bank would be amazing television. She winning the Money in the Bank, she would not cash in successfully if something would screw up and she would not become Women's World Champion or WWE Women's Champion. But oof, that would be great television.
It'd be fantastic. It would be wonderful. Like she would do such an epic level job with it because she would just own the crap out of it.
Yeah. I'm going to skip the next two. Naomi, veteran, she's not going to win it. It'd be cool, but she doesn't need it. This briefcase is said to elevate someone. And then there's Zoe. Zoe could use it, but I don't think it's going to head into her. I have two choices. It's Lyra and Tiffany.
I'm just going to stop you right there. Zoe would be a massive surprise, but I don't think she's going to win. Anyway,
I don't think... The man goes, there's one clear choice, and Tiffany, no, I think Lyra's the other one. I think Lyra has a strong case as well, because they've been doing a decent job of trying to establish her on the main roster, and giving her the briefcase would be a big win. And then there's Tiffany. Tiffany's on this path of doing something, and I think there's a couple possibilities with her winning the briefcase where she's currently sucking up to Nia, and she's part of Nia's court or whatever, like the Queen's court, and they're sort of like becoming buddy. Where like Nia could win the title off of Bayley, and then right away Tiffany screws over Nia and takes the title off of her right away. That would be a hell of a twist for the story.
That would be a twist
for the story that they're telling, and it'd be like Tiffany used Nia to get what she wanted all along. I think Tiffany with the briefcase, the bedazzled Barbie briefcase,
make it pink and bejewel it, please God.
Yeah, you could do a lot there with it. You really could do a lot there with it and make it something special and spectacular. I feel like between the two Money in the Bank ladder matches, the women's is more intriguing because whoever wins it, even if it's an Io or a Naomi or Zoe or whoever, has a real chance to become a women's champion. In the men's, it's kind of like they could, but I think in the women's, a lot of them have a better chance of winning a championship and using the briefcase to really make an impact. But to me, it's Tiffany, Lyra, Chelsea in that order. Chelsea would be the fun one where she can get her opportunity and fail, but Lyra or Tiffany could win it and actually become a women's champion at the end of the day.
I feel like Tiffany is the obvious choice.
Yeah.
Because she's on the rise, and she's almost on that cusp where she doesn't need it just because of how over she is. But it would be something that you could use it as a way for her to taunt people, but you could also, as you mentioned the scenario, she uses it to screw over Nia and get what she really wants, which is the title. Lyra could use the boost of Money in the Bank, and you could have it where she kind of goes more long-term like what Damian did last year, and she sits on it, she sits on it, she sits on it, and she waits for her moment to cash it in. And she could do the honorable thing, and she calls her shot. And she says, hey, whoever the women's champion is at the time, I want my shot. Here's my briefcase. Let's fight. In terms of compelling television, I feel like Tiffany is the better choice, because coming out of something like, especially if she screws over Nia, you could build that feud between like Bayley, Tiffany, Nia, and you have more options there. With Lyra, if she does it honorably or she kind of waits on it, you might have a little bit of a more difficult time getting her going, unless you just hit that pavement running. I'm gonna be real. I want Tiffany to win. I feel like she's earned it. I feel like she's poised to take it, and I feel like they have the most options with her. You could put it on someone like Zoe. You could put it on someone like Chelsea. It would be a complete surprise. Because I don't think anybody was really expecting Damian to necessarily win it last year.
Or EO for that matter. So you could have EO win it 2 years in a row, and they could shock everybody. So that's not to say, it's like, that's why I say Tiffany is the most obvious choice, but you could go with somebody like a Zoe Stark, somebody who, again, you're trying to get going, trying to get cooking. She could definitely take the bump for the Money in the Bank and do something with it. Yeah.
Where you begin to build her, and with her having Shayna by her side, that's another thing where it's like you start to build her into something, and kind of get her cooking. There's a lot of possibilities in this match, and people who could use this in completely different ways. Like, you could give it to Naomi. There would be no problem with that. She is a veteran. She's a former champion. She could absolutely use the bump from it as well. And you get her cooking, get her building for something, and you just have her out there with Money in the Bank lingering. And it's like, hey, I'm still here. I still got this. I'm ready to take you whenever you're good to go. So there's a lot of possibilities here that are really good. And I like that. Yeah. I like how it's just like, we're not sitting here going, well, this just no. Yeah. There's only one clear answer. It's like, no, everybody could use this. Everybody could do something with this. Same thing for the men. But I gotta go with Tiffany. I'm sorry, as I have a message. Okay, you just be repeat. Anyway, this is Tiffy's to win. I agree, yes. And you're right, Matt. It would be another way to make Naomi a Hall of Famer, just in terms of it's another accolade that you can put on her. Sorry, hit my mic. And it's also, if you do have her go out there and challenge for the title, she's a wonderful contender to put in there. So it's like, if you have a gap, you can fill it. But I just feel like it's Tiffany.
Some would say it's Tiffy time.
Ding!
So that begs the question, you're going Tiffany?
I'm going Tiffany.
I'm going Tiffany. 8-ball Tiffany? It is decidedly so. I don't have the number, what the participants up in front of me at the moment. What number is Tiffany on Wikipedia?
Tiffany on Wikipedia is 4.
Wheel?
2.
Oh, we had one.
And I believe that's Chelsea.
One that didn't line up.
Is that Chelsea?
That is, in fact, Chelsea Green.
There you go. That's Money in the Bank.
That is Money in the Bank, but you got stuff to plug, so plug away.
Chat, leave your picks, facebook.com/groups/WildTalkRadio. Put the sheet up tomorrow, and you can give us your picks for Money Back, which is live this Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Check your time and availability in your area. But that's Money in the Rack. That's Money in the Bank. This is the Rack. So enjoy 4th of July. We're back Friday for GM battles with me and Brent in WWE 2K24. Saturday night's game night. No game night. Right. No game night because of Money in the Bank. CB Radio live at 11:30 p.m. Eastern. Sunday night, it's WTR Sunday Night Wrestle Talk Radio, 10 p.m. Eastern, reviewing Money in the Bank. Monday night's the Raw Post Show, 11 p.m. Eastern. We'll be back next Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern to review Money in the Bank live on the Rack. It's at Wild Talk Radio. Facebook.com/Wild Talk Radio Network. The Rack Radio Show on all social media platforms. Wherever you get your podcasts, just search The Rack Radio Show. Chat, if you have that Amazon Prime, link it to your Twitch account. It's called Prime Gaming Support Channel by clicking the purple rectangular button below the screen. You can use credit code ROCKINSOCK or
Lindsey Ward.
When you buy Metallica for now, I think they're leaving the shop very soon. Nick A30 is still in there. Ninja Turtles, Pirates of the Caribbean, 4th of July stuff, Wolverine, Weapon X, and all the Marvel stuff in the Fortnite item shop. Because we are
#Epic Partners. You can follow me on most of social medias at LindsWard, LNSWD. You can check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/LindsWard. You can follow me over on YouTube, youtube.com/@SummerLindsWard. And you can follow me over on TikTok, LindsWard0. And while you're liking and subscribing and following and do all the things, head over to MBG Films, youtube.com/MBG1211 to check out Matt's content because he's awesome. And, you know, while you're liking and subscribing and following and doing all the things, tell him we say hi. And say hi to him, too, because we love Matt. So for Rock, I'm Lindsey Ward. You've been listening to The Rock right here on WildTalkRadio.com. Happy birthday, America! We will see you next week. Bye!